In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I'm with Jean Cameron, and she is the head of growth marketing at Flosum. And today we're going to be learning all about how Flosum is helping DevOps out there in order to get everything in order, specifically if they're working on Salesforce. So today we're going to be learning about Flosum and how Jean is thinking about growth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Very, very good. So maybe give us an overview first. What is Flosum all about?
Sure. So Flosum is the only native secure DevOps data management, data protection tool for the Salesforce cloud. So what we do is we make the release process super fast, super easy. We increase developer productivity, innovation, all the while keeping your data secure and compliant inside your Salesforce environment.
That's very succinct, very clear, very good. Who's benefiting the most? I mean, obviously you need to be using the right technologies, but like what types of companies are benefiting most from you guys?
Sure. So companies of any size benefit, as long as they're in the Salesforce cloud, benefit from DevOps and benefit from Flosum. So we actually have conversations at every level. So we every day talk to developers that want to automate processes, automate release process, want to release code with zero errors. We also talk to CEOs, CIOs, line of business managers. They want to look for solutions that increase their bottom line, increase their ROI, let their companies innovate and keep up with their customer expectations, and also just to keep their data secure inside the Salesforce cloud environment.
Very good. Okay, cool. And who would the folks that would be raising their hand and say, "Hey, I need something that flows from our organization"? Is that really the sort of CDOs or engineering side of things? Is that more like an operational side of things? Does it even come from like a sales organization? How does it work?
Yeah, so it's a little complex in the DevOps environment. The developers, the release managers, Salesforce admins, they're the ones coming to us saying, I've got a project, I've got to look for a solution, I need a DevOps solution. And that's really being dictated by, I would say, more of the line of business. So you've got your finance team or your marketing team or your sales team saying, we need to innovate, we need to keep up with customer demand, we need to exceed all customer expectations. So they're asking IT organization to find a solution for one of their pain problems, and the solution ultimately becomes increasing their DevOps experience and efficiency.
Very good. So now that we understand like what you guys are doing and who you're serving, at least on the sort of on the surface level, maybe tell us a little bit more about how people hearing about Flosum. Like, what are the sort of the key client acquisition channels that you guys will be leveraging?
Sure. So I would say most of our clients' initial journey starts with the Salesforce AppExchange. So we are on Salesforce AppExchange. We've got a live chat feature on our AppExchange listing, which is really awesome. We talk to customers day in and day out. I probably have 50 to 60 conversations every day. And that's just one person in an organization having conversations. So we're on AppExchange. We're live chatting with everyone. And we are also very intertwined with Salesforce, obviously being a Salesforce AppExchange partner. So anytime Salesforce is at an event or they're speaking someplace or they're hosting webinars, we are always there, right there with them. So if people are inside the Salesforce environment, you're going to hear Flosum's name.
Very cool. I mean, maybe for every marketer who's not as familiar with this capability of having the chat within the marketplace, because that's obviously an amazing route into speaking with people. How does that come to be? Does everybody that list can have something like this? Is it to a certain tier? Like, how do you guys discover this kind of approach?
Yeah, so Salesforce launched this, I want to say about 6 months ago, 6 months ago. So it's very new to the Salesforce world. Really, it's, a certain tier of partner can have access to the Salesforce AppExchange, and then it's just talking to your customer success manager, your partner manager, to get it installed into your AppExchange. It is super useful. We love interacting with our customers, prospects, answering questions. So it just gives us a great avenue outside of our website chat for our customers to reach out to us.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think it's very, very interesting. Okay, cool. Good. So we know now a little bit more about how you think about growth. You mentioned inbound. Like, what role do you attribute to the website? Like, how do you personally think about the website? What role does it play in the journey of getting to know a person?
Sure. So our website is, I would say, everything that we do. It is where our customers to go to get the most information about us. It's where prospects go to learn everything about us. We love pushing content to our website. So we update our blog at least once a day, if not more. So we push everyone to our website. It's where our chat is. It's where you're going to interact with us. You're going to get access to our customer success portal there, which has got product documentation and our certification. Everything we do from a marketing standpoint is going to push people to our website. That is kind of our identity. It is where we put all of our content and all of our information, and we want to make sure people have access to all of that.
I see. Now, typically marketers are super critical with the website, right? Like where do you see sort of the biggest strengths versus where do you see the biggest room for improvement, or where do you like the website sort of, developing towards to?
Sure. So I would say our biggest strengths on our website is our content. It's easy to find. It's, you can look for it by role. So if you are a line of business manager, if you are a developer or a system admin, there's content for everybody out there. You can see our customer success stories on there. You can see our reviews on analyst sites like G2. So I would say our content is the biggest strength. We like to try to be thought leaders, and it's not just pitching Flosum from a sales perspective. Where our biggest weaknesses, I would say, is kind of our brand identity. So we are, a hot pink. I mean, if you look at our website, it is hot pink and, easy to navigate, but it could use some updating. And I will say to your audience that a surprise update is coming soon. So you'll have to check out our website coming up.
Very cool. Very, very good. I'd love to hear that on the show, that the website is getting some love. Very cool.
Oh, yes.
Maybe let's take one more second on the website before we're moving on. I'm curious, like, how do you personally, I mean, you've been in interesting marketing roles. Like, how do you personally go about figuring out why people don't convert on the website? Like, what would be an approach that you sort of, would go after? What's the tools, the methods that you would be, applying in order to figure that out?
Yeah. So I would say for us, it's really about A/B testing. It's putting out a message, revamping our website to the audience that we want to, hit and measure. So if you are a developer coming into our website, you're going to get a very different experience than somebody who is a line of business person or an executive at the organization. It is because we want to make sure that we are feeding you content that is relevant to what you do on a daily basis. So when we talk to developers, we're talking features, functionality. We know that they're going to be in the tool every day, all day. So we want to make sure that we highlight those features. When it comes to an executive like a CIO, they care about how's this going to affect the business, increasing their business velocity or their ROI. So we want to make sure that that gets showcased very, prevalently on our website when they first hit it. And we're able to measure all these experiences. And so when we look for conversions, it truly becomes who's chatting with us, who's booking time to talk to us, are they responding to the content? We don't have forms on our website. We don't believe that you need to fill out your email address to get some information. The information is free for everybody to gather, and they can come and talk to us when they're ready in their buyer cycle. So we kind of measure that performance on, are people looking at it? Do we have page views? And then are they converting into meetings?
Very cool. Very cool. Maybe one last follow-up on this before we're moving on. How do you sort of then derive from those findings, like the A/B testing, the page views that you were analyzing? How do you evaluate what actually needs to be changed on the website?
Yeah, so that's a good question. For us, it becomes when we do our A/B testing, are people responding to the message? So we've got a new campaign out. It's been out for about 3 months now. I want to say 3 months now. And we have revamped the message on this maybe 3 or 4 times. Are people responding to more of a security message? Are they responding to a feature functionality message? Are they responding to a UI and UX type of message? And so we look at every detail. I'm a very analytical person. That is my background in the companies I've worked for. And so it becomes, the littlest details that we look at of, are they reading this? How much time they're spending on a certain web page? Are they downloading content? If they're downloading content more about a UX UI type of, feature, we'll stop pushing the security because that may not be important to people or may not be important to a certain group of people. We also look at by industry. So we know that regulated industries like financial services and healthcare are more concerned with security than somebody like manufacturing. And so we want to make sure that that content's also fed to the right people based on their industry. And so we just have to make sure that we're always testing and looking at the data.
Okay, very, very insightful. So let's switch gears a little bit and learn, get to know you a little bit better. I'd be curious, right? There's a lot of content out there on marketing. Like, how do you sort of decide like where you educate yourself? Like, what's your sort of like go-to places to keep on growing in the sort of, growth marketing world?
Yeah, so I would say LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn a lot during the day. I have connected to many marketing leaders, some ex-CMOs that I've worked with who just share really great content or write really great content. I think LinkedIn is the place where you're going to get more of a holistic approach rather than going to people like CMO magazines and stuff like that. This way I can just get raw content in more like shorter clips, and I like interacting with other marketers. So I am part of probably a dozen marketing Slack groups. And so just reach out to those marketing leaders, asking questions, answering questions, getting people's feedback. I'm also part of a Salesforce ISV group, which is great outside of the marketing world. And so get answers around everything Salesforce. So product features that I may not know of or understand, I can talk to other partners in the organization or other partners in the ISV program, and they can give me their feedback at a very, third-party raw way.
Very cool. I like that perspective that you're saying there, like that the data is kind of raw on LinkedIn because it's coming, it's not sort of manufactured into an article or a white paper or something. It's just coming straight from the experience. So that's quite.
Yep. And it's not I guess, what am I trying to, sponsored by organizations or companies. And so it's just people's opinions and thoughts. And I love that.
I would like to wrap it up with some rapid fire questions. Are you ready for those?
Okay, I'm ready.
What's the last book you read?
Into Thin Air by John Krakauer.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
We are working hard on continuing to be this native and pitching this native concept to Salesforce ecosystems. So what does it mean to be a native application inside the ISV program?
If there would be no boundaries in tech, what would be the one thing that you would fix for your role today?
If there's no boundaries, I would get rid of COVID. So if I had anything, I miss the face-to-face interaction with my customers. So I would love to take them out for a beer and just hang out and talk about their problems.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
Website relaunch. Keeps me awake every day.
Now, a little bit of time travel, if you would allow. Let's go back to Central Michigan University. Sort of you are just off into the world. And maybe I'm referring to the bachelor's, right? Because you've been there, obviously been back to it. If we're referring to the bachelor's. Now you're off into the world of marketing and growth. Like, what's the one advice you would give yourself?
Probably don't take life so seriously. So, have a little fun. Your job is going to happen. You're going to learn on the job. Don't try to learn everything during college. Just have fun and you'll get a job and just relax. It will all work out.
Very nice. I want to give you the very last word for the interview today. If people would be forgetting all that we discussed about Flosum today, what would be the one thing that they should remember?
Sure. So I would say the one thing about Flosum is that we are the only native DevOps solution for Salesforce. And what I mean by native is that we are built in Salesforce, not bolted on. So there is no API connection into Salesforce. There's no third-party data access into Salesforce. Your data is always secure and inside the Salesforce cloud. And that's super important when it comes, especially nowadays, when all we hear about is data breaches and data hacks, that your data is secure and it's compliant and it never leaves the Salesforce cloud.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathfinder Presents.
Thank you so much for having me.